Do you know you could have kidney disease and not even know it? 9 out of 10 people who have stage 3 chronic kidney disease do not know it. The rate of kidney failure for African Americans is 3 times higher than among Caucasians. And one reason for this is that they are not aware when they have earlier stages of kidney disease. At a time, treatment could prevent the damage from progressing to the point when dialysis or kidney transplantation is necessary. In addition, due to high rates of diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, Blacks and African Americans have an increased risk of developing kidney failure. African Americans need to be aware of these risk factors and visit their doctor or clinic regularly to check their blood sugar, blood pressure, urine protein, and kidney function. Be aware. Get tested. The life you save may be your own. For more information, contact urbankidneyalliance.org.
What's going on? Welcome to Urban Health Outreach Media. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Welcome to a special broadcast. And when I say this is a special broadcast, this is a special broadcast because normally we do shows on kidney disease, all right? But this particular show, like I said in the advertisement, if you're trying to write a book, right? You're trying to do a podcast. You're trying to tell your story. You're trying to brand yourself. You're trying to put yourself out there. If you're on the the transplant list, looking for a living donor. If you're trying to get into that media spotlight and try to break into that realm, this is the show to be watching. I normally don't put my contacts out there like this, but I said, hell, look, this gentleman that's coming on tonight, he can help a lot of people. His business is very simple, very unique, and people need to hear about it. Not just me, but other people, and specifically kidney warriors who are trying to write a book, who are trying to break into that scene and don't know where to start, all right? You may have other people who have wrote a book and whatever, but tonight you're going to hear from the publisher, the senior publisher himself. You're not going to get secondhand information you're going to hear it right straight from the senior producer who does this. So share this broadcast. I'm telling you, if you're not here watching this, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go back and look at it, but you need to be here. So without further ado, well, let me just share one thing. I met Mr. Walters through my nephew about 3 to 4 years ago. I had a crappy website, WordPress website. I forgot who it's with. And my nephew, he was broadcasting or taping a Christian game show, right? And Mr. Walters was the producer, or his company helped my nephew put that together. And like I said, I had a crappy website. I needed a website that had that wow factor in it. And I was looking around and I asked my nephew. He gave me Mr. Walters' number. And just a coincidence, Mr. Walters, I didn't even know this. I was Facebook friends with his mother, and we both went to the same high school, but not at the same time, the Coleman Academy. Now, isn't that something? So that's why I believe this is nothing but God's work and how Mr. Walters has entered my life. And if you go to my website now, not mine, but our website, www.urbankidneyalliance.org, you'll see the amazing changes that Brandex has done to our website. It has that wow factor. It's crisp, clean, and he can do that for you. He can do that for you, and he's publishing my book as well. So without further ado, let me give Mr. Walters the VIP treatment. I want to bring him on board. Hey, Pierre, how you doing?
I am doing very well, especially after that intro.
A lot of people like that. What's going on?
Oh my! I am excited. I am so excited to be here on the show and to talk to you, Steve, more in depth about what we do and to share that with a larger audience. But man, you really have a great way of making people feel real special, man. Because I feel super special right now coming on the show. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, thank you for coming on. And I gotta thank Jared Brown. He's our graphic director. He put that together, and man, I gotta thank him for that.
Oh yeah, 1,000 times over, because it is excellent. Let me tell you, I feel like I'm walking on like what is it? Showtime at the Apollo or something.
Wow.
So thank you again.
Oh, absolutely, man. So Pierre, I mean, you're senior producer at Brandex, and I know you have a long story, but how does your story starts out by you, like being the senior producer of this? I mean, multi-million-dollar company. I guess I don't know, but this large company that has these multiple services that help so many people, and you publish so many books with so many authors. How did you get to this point?
Wow. I'm humbled really by the fact that we're even here today and able to serve, the community, excellent customers like yourself and many others, especially during this time, COVID-19. This
Absolutely.
Look, if you're in business right now, you got to say thank you to your customers, because this is a tough time for everybody. People have to watch every single dollar that they spend, every single penny. It's difficult enough to even go to the grocery store. And so, if you're lucky enough to be serving customers during a time like this, either look, a couple things are happening. Number one, you're doing something right. But number two, you're also really lucky and really blessed. And you got to keep that in mind. And so with us, our story starts back in 2007 when
wow.
when we started the company. But you know what, Steve, we started as a as a video production company, video production.
Okay.
So we started first with that mantra of making excellent video productions, and that took us from here in DC to New York to eventually to LA, where I ended up living in Los Angeles for about 8 years.
Wow.
And yeah. And while we were out there, while I was out there, we were still serving both coasts. So we had, video productions going on the West Coast and on the East Coast, and I would fly back and forth almost monthly. In fact, I'm really proud to say that that during that time, I had the unique privilege of being able to work directly with the Columbia Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists to produce their monthly television show called Columbia Union Conference.
Wow.
And, called Columbia Union Story. That was what it was called. And you know what? We ended up winning an Emmy for that particular show with Hope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was, quite an honor. And out in California, I did a lot of music videos and, many of them gospel music videos. In fact, in 2008, I was humbled. And I say this because let me tell you, I truly did not, it just kind of came out of nowhere, but I was humbled to be nominated BET's Music Video Director of the Year for a gospel music video that we had produced called Tell the World, featuring Amos St. John. And the very next year, we got another nomination. This time it was still Gospel Music Video of the Year, but this time it was for a different video called Search My Heart, featuring the artist named Indigo. And this was on Gospel Music Channel. And so, there are many other great accolades.
Wait a minute. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but wait, I'm getting goosebumps because this is the first time I'm hearing this. Right?
Really? Oh, no.
No, only thing I thought just by looking at your website in the past, like these BET stuff, I never did any extensive research or anything like that because I was always on the go when we first met. I was working in dialysis and trying to do both things. Mm-hmm. But when you said that, I literally got goosebumps because, man, I am humbled and fortunate enough to be able to work with somebody as yourself, to have been nominated for 2 Emmys. Able to call you and personally talk to you because, sometimes you get this sense of, people out in Hollywood or on that level, they don't have time to talk to people like myself that's on that bottom level trying to do, important projects. Yeah. But no, man, I am humbled to know you, and I'm grateful that I'm under your service and care, because if you was nominated for 2 Emmys and you have all these other accolades, then I know once my book is finished and everything else that I do with Brandex, it's going to be nothing but stellar. So, man, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you once again. It's a crazy journey because it like if you were to tell me, when I was just getting started in video, that I would end up as a senior producer at Brandesk, where we're doing so many different things at an incredibly high level of excellence, I would not have believed you, because I'll tell you, I didn't even know how publishing worked. I didn't even, I think my realm of expertise was pretty much just media. I didn't know anything about public relations, anything about design. Back when I first started, I was just focused on media, video. That was it. So it's kind of crazy that now, today, what are we, almost 13, 14 years later, that like here we are today, doing all these different kind of things. When we started to sort of pivot from video into the larger agency model. I'll tell you, Steve, what happened was many of our clients that were calling us frequently to come in and produce videos and commercials, they started to say things like, hey, you know, what do you think of our logo? You know, and I would have an opinion. I would have an opinion about that. And I would say like, hey, you know, your logo, it looks great. And they might say, oh, okay, well, you know, if you have any tips, can you let us know? Maybe you might want to spruce it up a little bit. And I would say, okay, well, you know. So we ended up sort of like, we ended up sort of tiptoeing into graphic design because our clients were asking us to sort of dip into this new realm. And once we started producing logos and we started producing brochures and pamphlets to kind of complement larger campaigns with for our clients, for the videos and commercials that we were doing, our clients started to ask us to produce their websites. And it was crazy because that was, again, another thing that I don't know that we really had a particular interest in, but sure enough, you know, websites were on the roster. So we started producing websites. And so that's how we got into websites. And I would say with each step, with each sort of new opportunity that we kind of ventured into, it was because we were getting enough requests, enough demand from the people that we were already serving. Now, I'll tell you how we got into publishing. I think that was the only real business that didn't start first from a natural sort of client pivot or a client request. Nobody asked us, hey, could you know, you're doing our commercials, you're doing our logos, you're doing our websites, could you also publish the book? That didn't happen. But what did happen is we started to notice that some of the projects that we were working on were projects for other people's books. And these books were being published at a very, very high level, but they didn't look very good. The cover design didn't look very good. The editing wasn't really what it should have been. It was almost, I would say, kind of embarrassing to be producing marketing material for some of these books that seemed like whoever was putting these things together didn't really care about what they were doing. And we realized there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here to improve on what we were seeing. And so we went out on a limb and we started our own publishing company. And it wasn't easy. Yeah, it wasn't easy. You know, Amazon was eating up publishing companies. A lot of companies were terrified. A lot of publishing companies were terrified of Amazon. I know, you know, Borders as a book distributor went out of business. Barnes and Nobles was almost on the brink of going out of business. A lot of mom and pop shops that sold books, that wasn't looking very good because of the internet and how, you know, people started buying books online. And so it was a scary market to kind of get into. But you know what? We decided to enter into publishing from a customer first perspective. And our mantra was that we were going to produce excellent books. We were going to do it at an excellent level, and we were going to do whatever it takes to ensure that the books that we published were stocked in stores, online, physically, and in libraries across the world and across the country, or across the country and across the world. Okay. And so it wasn't, I'll be honest with you, Steve, it was not a very profitable endeavor for us in the early days, because, you know, we just had to spend so much money constantly to ensure that the books are being seen, that the books are being carried. There was just a lot to kind of fight against what was going on with Amazon and even Barnes and Noble. But eventually, and I think this is where, you know, persistence really pays off. Eventually, our persistence kind of won, I would say, from my perspective, it kind of won us a seat at the table. And we started to produce more and more books. which gave us a larger voice. And that voice allowed us to be taken seriously, just like any other publisher. And our books to be carried in places where previously we weren't able to get them carried. And I started to learn that, you know what, authors, not only do they need excellence in terms of the quality of what they're putting out into the market, but they also need excellence in terms of how that's being marketed and how that's being presented to the larger world. And I think that's where our two strengths kind of combined really, really well to be able to serve at that level, with our media background, our marketing background, our television excellence, and now our publishing background. These things coming together gave us a unique sort of recipe to be able to really grow at a very rapid pace when it comes to publishing.
Wow. Now, on your website, you kind of focus on, Brandex kind of focus on visionary. Now, talk about that and why your company seeks out to collaborate or work with people who are visionaries.
Yeah. Steve, you're a visionary. Okay. You are visionary. So really what this is about is it's about how can we attract people like you, people who have a passion, people who have a burning desire for excellence, a burning desire to solve problems, to solve legitimate, practical, sometimes not even practical problems that may exist out there in the world. And what I started to notice was that there were people out there who were just like me, who wanted to find a way to put their ideas out into the marketplace with full support and not be sort of trampled by the big guys, by the big companies that just kind of want to eat you up, or even taken advantage of by sort of parasitic little businesses out there that are just trying to eat up every penny that you have and not really provide any results. And I think, the idea for Brandesk, which is our platform, and by the way, we recently launched this platform just earlier this year in 2020, right before COVID started. And what the vision behind the platform is to design a place where visionaries feel excited, where they feel comfortable, and where they feel motivated to come and build. And that was the motive. That was the I guess you would say that the mantra, heading out into building Brandesk. And in many ways, I look at Brandesk in terms of what it is now as almost like an Amazon sort of, but for visionaries, for people who are wanting to build brands and really make a difference. So I hope I answered that question.
No, absolutely. Now, let me ask you before we get into the services of Brandex and everything, if somebody's watching and they want to write a book, because we know you got everybody and their mothers writing a book today, and you got certain different pathways to publishing.
Yeah.
You just got people maybe putting out maybe misinformation on how to publish a book, or even people who may have wrote a book and just trying to be secret about the whole process. So if you can you just break down, if somebody is watching this show right now, let's just say they had a kidney transplant, or dealing with dialysis, and they wanted to write their story or their journey of dealing with that disease, what would be the first thing they need to do to start their process to get it from their mind to the shelf?
Yeah. That's a good question. I'm a planner. love planning. I want to see things before I get started on any venture. I want to know the steps, and I want to know, okay, how much effort do I need to sort of budget, in terms of my own capacity, in terms of getting towards that finish line. And so I would say the first thing that you should do is you should know what your options are. You should know what are the paths that I could take to get my book published. And I think you should start first with that, probably even before you start writing a single word of your manuscript. I mean, if you're like me and you're planning, I would start there. So, there's a do-it-yourself approach with self-publishing. And the reality is that in many ways, self-publishing is the de facto. Many of the major publishers, including us, take advantage of many of the tools that are provided to self-publishers. So you can self-publish your own book, and it's important that you know that. And then it's important that you understand, well, if that's the case, then why do I need a publisher? What's the difference? Like, at what point is it necessary to then have a publisher? Well, to me, it's just like anything else. You could publish your book yourself, but that means that you are going to be responsible for your own quality control. You're going to be responsible for your editing, okay, your copy editing, your proofreading. You're responsible for crossing the T's and dotting the I's. And then you're responsible for the formatting. And then you're responsible for the design. And then you're responsible for submitting to distributors, to retailers, and getting approved, going through whatever their processes are to get stocked and carried in their stores. And then you're responsible for marketing. You're responsible for your press releases. You're responsible for your video. I mean, my goodness. And does it ever end? Not really. It really shouldn't end, right? Marketing should be constant. So if you're doing it yourself, you're kind of signing up for a never-ending load of work that is only going to continue to increase as the demands of your vision require it. And so I think that's important. And so if you were to go the route of a publisher, let's say a traditional publisher, then you have to write your manuscript, submit your manuscript to that publisher as a proposal to see if they will agree to publishing your work. And if they do agree, then you're going to be in a situation where you'll most likely receive some kind of an advance. And that advance will help you as you live to finish writing your book and through that publishing process. But there's a trade-off to when it comes to receiving an advance from a publisher. And that trade-off is that money isn't totally free. It's actually a loan, and you actually have to pay that money back. And either you're going to pay it back out of your direct pocket, or you're going to pay it back through your book sales. And God forbid, if your book doesn't sell the way that the publisher or you might want it to sell, then you're responsible for paying back that advance to your publisher. And guess what? If your publisher is responsible for marketing and maybe they do a terrible job marketing, I know a lot of major publishers, this is in the book industry and also in the entertainment industry, major labels, that they'll decide, what, it's just not worth spending money on marketing for this particular product. They'll shelf the product, put it in a vault, and now you're stuck because they're not going to market it, and yet you still owe this money. And it's just really not a good situation. It's not a good situation at all. So then in the middle, there's a publisher like us, which we say, hey, look, here's the cost. Here's the cost to bring your book from beginning to end into the market. And here's the marketing support that we're going to provide as part of this deal. And with us, we say, rather than giving an advance that you then have to pay back, we offer a sort of investment deal where we'll say, okay, you can either pay for the cost that we are telling you up front would be to completely publish your book and get it to market. You can pay that cost up front, or you can decide to allow us to meet you more than halfway, where you put down as little as 35%. Mm-hmm. And then you agree to a payment plan that's comfortable for you.
It sure is.
Basis. And when you decide that, hey, you know what, this is the plan I want to use, this is the amount I'm comfortable paying, and we ink that deal, now we're in business. We're going to invest that money into you right up front. You don't have to worry about anything. You stick to your payment plan, and we will stick to putting the money up front to get you all the way through the publishing process, as we said that we would. And let me tell you, that sort of space where we occupy has, I think, been a real winner, because it solves so many problems so many people have. People want to retain control over their own work. They don't want to see it shelved. They don't want to see some big company come in and gobble it up and never see the light of day. They want to have control over something that they've worked so hard for. But then on the flip side, that just because they want that control doesn't mean that they don't want support. They might not know all the ins and outs of getting their book to market and getting their book stocked in store shelves. And so that's where we come in, and we're willing to put our money where our mouth is. We're willing to invest in our authors so that our authors can reach market and do so in a way that is affordable and rewarding for them and for us.
Mm-hmm. Now, Pierre, what has been the biggest mistake you've seen with new authors and selling their books? Because it's one thing to write a book, you know, the payment plan, you get it to market, but it's another thing to make money off of it. And so you have people who may write a book, but it may sell one here, one there, one next month. What does it take for a new author who feels like their book is that one that can possibly make a difference or an impact? What does it take for them? What is the biggest mistake? And then that biggest mistake, what would it take for them to move past that?
Okay. You know, that's an excellent question. I think if I were really, trying to, to help other authors to really be cautious about the decisions that they're making and to make smart and wise decisions, I would say, number one, the biggest mistake is authors don't market. They don't really embrace that side of the process. And I know it can be scary. It's not necessarily your expertise as an author. And I get that. I understand. But you have to market your book. If people don't know that it exists, then they can't buy it. We have to make sure people are aware that this resource, if it's a resource or a novel, but we have to make sure that people are aware that your book exists. And I see too many authors. Fortunately, these aren't necessarily authors that are working with us, but these are authors, especially self-published authors. They don't truly grasp that it's not enough to just put your book out there or to just self-publish your book on one of these platforms. You have to actively market it. You have to actively spread the word. So what is the major thing that we're doing to sort of make that a no-brainer for our authors? Well, first of all, we're bundling it in as much as possible. So we want to make sure that when you publish with us, when you get out the door, we're supporting you with a full press release that is hitting the nation. Okay, it's going to get you covered in news platforms, newspapers, radio stations, online news, major news networks. We want to make sure that you have that initial push. But we're also here to support you on social media, on in the news press or in the press, in your local community, in the broader regional community. We want to continue to assist you with marketing so that piece of the puzzle doesn't get sort of left behind. That's the biggest mistake, is authors sometimes don't realize how important marketing their book is. And I think the biggest thing that we're doing to fix that is we're making it affordable, we're making it accessible, and we're sort of turning it into something that's really very much a no-brainer, so that it takes whatever risk you may have experienced out of the equation so that you can benefit from seeing your book adequately marketed so that people know about it, and a certain percentage of those people convert and buy your book. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And one thing I noticed with some people I've seen on Facebook that may have written books, but I don't know if they use this service or not, but Facebook ads.
Yes.
If you put your book on and use Facebook ads and use maybe $5 to $15, $20 and tell her that the audience, you can reach millions of people.
Right.
And I don't see that used enough.
Isn't it?
Huh?
It's crazy how simple it is.
It is.
It's really, really simple, and I think a lot of people are either afraid of that technology, or sometimes don't even know that it exists. But it's there, and it needs to be used. Absolutely.
I mean, they're just missing how many people you're missing across the world and overseas that could see your book and may want to buy it. So, thanks for answering that, huh?
Yeah. Well, I just want to piggyback off of that a little bit more, because one of the things we do in Brandesk is when we understand how important it is when you're beginning a new venture to sort of plan out, what does success look like for me? And I fully believe that success is planned. I mean, sure, there's a lot of luck involved. Sure, there's a lot of providence at play, but ultimately you can actually plan your own success if you're diligent with it. And so in Brandesk, we have some really great tools that we've created to help our customers and our audience plan out their success strategy. And one of my favorite tools is the revenue strategy tool.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a great tool. And so if you're nervous about spending money on Facebook or Google ads because you're not sure what that return on investment is going to be, we can help you to overcome that fear by using our tool called a revenue strategy, which allows you to let us know how many people you want to reach on social media and how aggressively you want to reach them. What kind of creative are you willing to use? What kind of ads are you interested in creating that will compel those people to be interested in your book? And so we allow you to set those parameters, and you get to decide, hey, you know what? I want to sell my book for $20, $19.99. You put that into the revenue strategy, and then the revenue strategy will tell you, okay, if you reach 1 million people and you do so aggressively and your book costs $20, then my friend, you're going to potentially earn, and then it'll tell you some delicious number.
Yeah, I did that, and I forgot how many books if I sold 5,100 and some odd books at $20, that would net me $105,000.
Exactly. And it told you how many people you had to reach in order to get about 5,500 sales, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. I don't know why a lot of and see, that's why I wanted to bring you on, because if anyone's watching this right now and they're writing a book or in that process, you're kind of breaking this down and showing them that marketing is a key factor, not just writing a book and then getting it published and then showing people, oh, I wrote a book, but it's more to it than that, because you wrote it, now you got to get it in people's hands and not let it just sit on the shelf and you just say you wrote a book and you're not getting any residuals off of it.
Exactly.
Because you just can't put it in Amazon or Barnes and Noble and expect it to go that way. I mean, don't one have to actively be out there like doing little small tours and promotion and just keep grinding and pushing it to it kind of stratosphere to something larger than themselves if they really want to make an impact?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think, what's interesting about what you just said was traditionally we're sort of taught to to think that, okay, the one of the biggest ways to market a book is book tours and book launch events. And that's true. It is one of the best ways traditionally, because anytime you're promoting something live, you're going to sell more because it's live. Okay, so that's true. But guess what? It's COVID-19. It is pandemic time. Okay, we're in a different situation right now. And maybe book launch events or, major get-together events isn't really going to be practical any longer, or at least for the time being. So what do you do in the meantime? Well, that's where I would really highly suggest to people that they consider podcasting. Okay, if you don't already have a podcast, make one. Make a podcast for your book. Make a podcast around the themes of your book and reach an audience. Reach them with something that they can listen to, where they can hear your voice and they can learn more about the themes involved, and encourage them through repeat listening to check out your book. Grab a copy. Bring on readers who have read your book and want to talk about it. Bring them onto the podcast and talk to them about it. That only does one thing. That convinces other people that maybe they should give this a listen. Maybe they should give this a read. Podcasting is a major tool right now. It's a major podcasting and also videos on YouTube. This is a major way of bringing people together during a time where maybe it isn't as safe to come together in person. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And let me ask you something, Pierre. With you saying podcasting is big right now, we see a lot of podcast shows out there. I mean, it seems like every day you got somebody coming up with a podcast. But with that being said, what does it take for that podcast to stand out from the rest?
What does it take? Yeah, what does it take? I'm gonna say there's no magic bullet. That's the first thing. All right, just let's all just get on that. There's no magic bullet. If you're, depending on your audience, people are going to want different things, okay, in terms of what's going to pique their attention. But the number one thing you can do as an individual, as someone who is an author, maybe, wanting to promote and market their book, the number one thing you can do is find your own voice and be authentic to it. Be your own person, be authentic to your own message, and people will gravitate. Look, you may not have all the friends in the world. Not every single person on planet Earth is going to be interested in what you have to say, but that's normal. That's okay. Not even the most popular celebrities are loved by every single human being on the planet. There's always detractors. So you have to kind of be okay with that and say, you know what? No, I'm going to present my truth, my honest self, and I'm going to let my passion show for that thing that I am so enthusiastic about. And I'm going to trust and have faith that the people who feel the same way as I do, or even close to the same way as I do, are going to sort of magnetically be attracted to the resources and the material and the content that I'm putting out there.
Wow. I mean, you're right about that. You're absolutely right. I mean, when I first started, me and my partner, even when I was just doing separate videos, wasn't getting a lot of viewers. And I felt like I was putting out great information, trying to raise people awareness. But I kept putting in the work, and we still got a ways to go. I mean, like right now, it's more than 700,000 people on kidney disease. I only have 7 people on here. I mean,
that's okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
As long as I got them 7, they'll share the broadcast. But, it can just be a challenge sometimes, because you definitely have to think on that level is, regardless if you got one person or no person, you still got to put the content out there, because someone may always go back and see that broadcast, and it may make a difference in their life.
Right. That's
You never
exactly
know.
right. I believe that, authenticity is key, and also consistency is key. And look, if you can, and I know you're doing this, if as a content creator, if you can stick to a schedule, just stick to a schedule, be reliable so that an audience can form around you. It's very important. People can't, it's really difficult for people to gravitate towards a content producer that is unreliable. If they're not totally sure when the next episode is coming out, or if they're not totally sure when the next appearance is going to be, then it's really difficult for them to gravitate. But if you're reliable, and if you're consistent, and if your voice is authentic, then really those are the three main ingredients, and people will gravitate. And sometimes it may take longer than others. It could depend on world events. It could depend on your subject matter, but people will gravitate. And I can say, what you're doing with this podcast, Steve, is phenomenal. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, and your website looks absolutely beautiful. And and the book that you're writing is just like gonna blow people's minds, bringing people together and providing a practical resource for people who are dealing with kidney disease. But the lesson that I've learned is with my businesses, over time, being consistent. Sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, Steve, I've earned many more customers just by sheer persistence, just because we're still here. The people that were leery about Blue Artists and who we are back in the early days, that we don't have that problem anymore. Okay. Sometimes people are just looking for a reliable, consistent business that's not going to disappear tomorrow, and that's going to offer a great value. And when they find that, they're going to say, okay, this one's for me. And so we're earning many more customers today just on the sheer fact that we're still here than I think we did in our early days. And I think, that's just proof that reliable, consistent, and authentic presentation is incredibly important.
And I have to say, Pierre, when I first signed on board with Blue Artists, very first, maybe 3-4 years ago, not sure, but yeah, I had some skepticism because I was so used of the GoDaddies and the Yahoos and whatever Gator host or whatever websites, that I wasn't used to a local based and African American company. So in the beginning, when little idiosyncrasy problems happened, yeah, I got in a fluster, but I can honestly say throughout these years, everything that had in the past that may have happened, you always called me personally. When it was time to renew my certificates for the website or do anything, you always sent me an email or called me. And that's the one thing that I really love about your company, is that you have been consistent like that throughout the years. Whatever the situation has arisen, you make sure it was addressed in a timely manner, and everything continue like clockwork. So, I mean, I don't have any complaints. And like I told you, you always give me, when I'm trying to do a different service, you give me the options, and you tell me, you lay the cards on the table, and I always tell you that I'll always go with your advice. I mean, 110%, because everything that you advised to me, it never went wrong.
Thank you. And I really appreciate that, because that what I'm trying to exemplify, what I'm trying to show in my actions, and hopefully in the actions of my team members, is integrity. Showing, look, just because it's not in our best interest doesn't mean it's not in the client's best interest. And sometimes we, like you said, when we're putting cards on the table, sometimes some of the options don't directly benefit our company, but they are better options for you. And I think, you need to see those options. And, and I've always tried to be upfront by saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to suggest this option, even though this option isn't directly with us, because it's the best option. And I'll tell you, when we first got into web design, one of the main platform we were working with at that time was WordPress. And so we built so many websites on WordPress, but over time we started to realize that there were certain security holes, certain sort of weaknesses to the WordPress experience that made it not the best fit for every single customer. And we learned that, we really shouldn't try to shoehorn all of our customers into the WordPress experience, because for some people it's too complicated. And for other people, it's the security issues are just not acceptable. And I'll be honest with you, we didn't have another solution at that time. We didn't have another option in order to keep those customers. And we had to make the very difficult choice, the very difficult, decision to recommend that those customers go elsewhere. And so what we did was we subsidized, that's the word. We subsidized the cost of moving our customers who needed a better place for their websites to different platforms like Squarespace, like Weebly, like Wix.com. And those customers were very happy. They were very happy. We moved them to a place that made them happy. And let me tell you something. That was a difficult thing to do because we lost a lot of business. We really did. And it was difficult. But you know what? We didn't end there. We said, this is a vulnerability that we have at Blue Artist, and we need to solve this vulnerability. It's not going to be overnight. So in the meantime, we have to give our customers a better solution. But in the background, let's build our own hosting service. Let's build our own platform that solves these problems. And then when we are ready and when we launch that new platform, let's go back to those customers that we moved over to these other options at no cost to them. Let's explain to them the value proposition. And I'm pretty sure every single one of those customers, if not a huge majority, are going to come back to us, to Brandesk hosting, because of the integrity that we showed many years ago. And so today, I'm proud to say that we've recently, about 2 months ago, launched our very own hosting platform called Brandesk Hosting. And it competes against the big boys. It competes against Squarespace, Weebly. If you love the convenience, the ease of use of a platform like Squarespace, Brandesk Hosting is your alternative.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me get off my soapbox.
No, but you're right, because it's very user friendly. I mean, of course, you got to have some type of computer literacy, but I mean, you can go in the backstage yourself and change documents, write stuff. Very simple, walk you through, especially if you're trying to publish a website. I mean, Brandex hosting is just awesome.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things about what we've managed to do with Brandesk hosting is we've managed to create an environment where our customers can really invest in. So you don't have to live in this fractured world where you're buying your domains from GoDaddy and you're getting your email from Google and Yahoo, and you're hosting your website with Brandesk hosting, and you're getting your email marketing from MailChimp, and you're getting your books published with some other publishing company. We're bringing everything together so that
under one roof,
exactly. And you can manage your website. You can deal with your email. You can buy as many domains as you want. You can handle your marketing, everything you're publishing, all within one roof. And just imagine the frustration that is alleviated when you can log into one place and literally see your entire brand. And to me, that is such a compelling idea that it was worth me in my business investing the hundreds. I mean, look, a lot of money, okay? Investing a lot of money into creating Brandesk. And now that it exists and we've got users and customers like you who are really happy, it to me it's like a dream come true, because it's seeing that, yes, this is what people want. And now that I know, and now that customers can save so much by bringing everything into one place, you're seeing that reflected in our incredibly low prices and our ability to invest directly into our customers. There is no other business. I don't know of any other business, especially in this space, where the business is willing to invest in you. And I think that's what really sets us apart. And so what do I mean by that? Sure, you can go to other businesses and you can take out, payment plans and finance things. But when you're doing that, you're also paying a lot of interest, right? You're paying a lot of interest. And at the end of the day, it's almost, is it worth it to pay what you're paying in interest just to finance something? And we don't charge interest.
Right.
We don't. And so that's what makes it an investment. We are taking that risk alongside with you. And whether you decide to pay us in full or you decide to take advantage of one of our affordable and accessible payment plans, you're paying one price. And we don't discriminate. So, our mantra is that every single customer who comes to Brandesk is entitled to a payment plan, to using our payment plan service. You don't have to go through a credit check. Your eligibility for our payment plans is based solely on your customer experience and activity on Brandesk. So if you're a good customer, if you're on Brandesk and you're paying your payment plans on time, you're being respectful to the other team members and they're being respectful to you, you're ordering, you're taking advantage of the different services that we have to offer, to us, you're a great customer. And we want to make your life better by giving you access to more payment plans, cash rewards, all sorts of incentives to keep you comfortable and happy with the fact that, you're getting the best value in town.
Absolutely. Pierre, can you talk about the services that Brandex offer?
Yes, I definitely can. And it's like, totally probably one of my favorite things to talk about. We just talked about Brandesk hosting. Okay. So within Brandesk hosting, and this is sort of a sister company to the overall Brandesk. But Brandesk hosting is focused on all of your IT needs. Everything from your website to your email marketing to your domain name. So if you need to buy a domain name, and typically you think, okay, I'm going to go to GoDaddy or I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type in, www.mybusiness.com. And when I see that domain name, I'm going to buy it. Typically that's what you're trained to think. Well, you can do that also within Brandesk, and you can save by doing it inside of Brandesk, which is incredible. So, not just your email marketing, but also your professional email. If you want a dedicated location to host your email, something that is comfortable, something that is, I'm seeing a comment now asking what our prices are, so I will answer that. But if you want a comfortable place to host your email, you can with us. And I'll tell you, when it comes to email, very specifically, we're competing against G Suite. We're really looking at, okay, what is the value that G Suite is offering, and how can we offer a better deal to our customers? And so what we've worked out, and you'll see all of these prices up front at brandeskhosting.com. But what we've worked out is professional email, all right, professional email starting at $2.98 per month. Okay, this is for one email account. this is without any bells and whistles. But if you do want some bells and whistles, we're offering a total of 5 email addresses for $5.98 per month. So total. So that works out to a little over $1 per email address. And this is with roughly a little over 2 gigabytes of storage for each of those email addresses that you can totally manage. And if you're like me and you say, you know what, no, I need the unlimited option. I don't want to have to think about how much storage space I have. Then you might be interested in our ultimate plan, which is $7.98 per month. That is for a total of 5 email addresses. So that works out to a little over $1.50, $1.50 or so per email address per month with unlimited storage. And that's not just unlimited storage for your emails. That's also unlimited storage for cloud storage. So we're offering a sort of Dropbox alternative, a sort of Google Drive alternative where you can store your files, you can store big files, small files, you can store your files, unlimited storage with our workspace add-on, which is available when you subscribe to our email ultimate plan for $7.98 per month. Again, that's for 5 email addresses, unlimited storage, fully integrated calendar system, and storage space. And I think what's really amazing about this is the fact that if you're accustomed to being able to access these different services from any device, you're not going to lose any of that functionality with this particular plan. You're going to be able to access all of this from wherever you are, whether you're on your desktop computer or you're on your cell phone or whatever, your tablet, whatever the case may be. Unlimited storage, 5 email addresses, $7.98 per month. There you go. Now compare that to G Suite, which offers the exact same thing, okay, but for $6.99 per email address. So, and that's the last time I checked. It may have gone up. So $6.99 per email address works out to what? If we're timesing that by 5 email addresses, that's about $35 a month for what we're offering at the same amount in origin email quantity for $7.98. So a pretty dramatic shift, okay?
Absolutely.
in terms of value. So a lot of people have asked me, Pierre, if your prices are so low, where are you profiting? And I say, well, it's about big picture thinking, and that's where I use the analogy, to like Amazon. It's about scale with us. It's about finding so many ways to serve our customers that in the big picture, we're making a healthy profit. But on each individual service, okay, our profit margins are very, very, very slim. So that, we can provide an incentive for our customers to take advantage of everything we have to offer. Not just a place to host your website, not just a place to host your email and your storage, but I don't know, maybe you'll consider letting us publish your book. Maybe you'll consider letting us handle your marketing. And so this kind of, I was going to use this as an opportunity to segue into some of our other services. But before I do that, let me leave the hosting conversation by just letting you know what our costs are for website hosting specifically. If you're interested in building your website on Brandesk hosting, and you have options like Squarespace, I think I saw a comment where someone said that they're using Wix currently. It said, Wix.com, that's right. So our service starts at $9.58 per month. $9.58 per month. And that's gonna meet your needs when it comes to a website, okay? We do have 2 levels higher. So we've got a level higher at $15.98 per month. And the only thing different is that with this particular service, we've built in an incredibly convenient integration to PayPal, which means you don't have to do it yourself. Just plop in your PayPal email address, and now you've got a beautiful default integration with PayPal. So when customers want to come to your site and purchase something or pay you for something, it's beautiful, it's simple, it's integrated, it doesn't look finangled. $15.98 per month. And our ultimate website builder plan goes a step further. And if you're like me, you know, allowing customers to be able to schedule appointments with me is a very important service. And for a long time, I had to use separate companies to provide that particular convenience. I used a company called Calendly.com. There's also another one called Doodle.com. And basically these companies exist to make it easier for customers to schedule appointments with you. So we said, hey, you know what? What if we just built that in? What if we just created our own version of Calendly or Doodle and allowed and sort of structured it in such a way where when visitors come to your website and maybe they want to schedule an appointment with you, or they want to, you know, schedule a consultation with you, you had that functionality already built into your site for no additional cost from the hosting plan.
Wow.
And for that particular service, $23.98.
What?
Yeah, just $23.98 per month. And that is still less than the $26 that Squarespace starts you off at if you want to have a custom coded website. So
wow.
I'm very pleased. All of our websites are SSL certified, which means that you don't have to spend an additional $70, $80, $90 a year getting your domains certified with SSL. I don't know if you remember, Steve, many years ago when your website was hosted on WordPress, that was an inconvenience where once a year you had to pay, I don't know, it was around $70 or so just to get an SSL certificate. We said that's not good. We can do better. And so we're doing better. So now when you're on Brandesk hosting, you don't have to worry about that. That's all included. No surprise fees every once a year or anything like that. If you're paying $9.58 per month, that's the cost.
That's right. Wow. Now, you also have a production company?
Yes. So this is thank you. This is a good opportunity to kind of segue out of Brandesk hosting and into some of the other businesses that I'm so proud are built on Brandesk. So we have a production company. It's called Media Roll, and you can find us at MediaRoll.live. That's MediaRoll.live. And I would suggest that you go there for all of your video, photography, and podcast needs. So if you're interested in creating your own podcast, head over to MediaRoll.live and check us out. Look at how we can help you to create your podcast and the incredible discounts on offer and the money that you can save through our no interest payment plan solution. So really, MediaRoll.live. I have people who use MediaRoll.live to create short films. They use our services for their weddings. They use our services for corporate events. Photography, we offer, I think, some of the best photography services, period. And we are in 4 states at the moment. So if you're located anywhere near LA, New York, Washington, D.C., or Cleveland, Ohio, then you can take advantage of our services. These are in-person services, so location does matter. So we try to pick states that were sort of regionally accessible. So on the East Coast, again, we've got DC. We have studios in DC. We have studios in New York. We have studios in Cleveland, Ohio, and we have studios in Los Angeles. And we're constantly expanding, but this is where we are now. We'll be adding more to that over time. But certainly you can go to any of our locations and have excellent photography done, excellent video, and your podcast and audio needs met with MediaRoll.live. We also have, and I'm going to kind of sort of touch on some of these other businesses. We have Rightmove. Rightmove is a dedicated content creation service. So customers use Rightmove, and that's Right, WRITE move.com. I believe it's .com or .biz. Let me just double check. Rightmove.biz. It's .biz. So WRITE move, MOVE.biz. Go there for your copywriting, content, blog, articles. Go there for anything you need written. If you need something written, maybe you need help with a manuscript. Maybe you're writing a book and you need some help. You want someone to come in and kind of, help you with that. Rightmove is your solution. Our prices are incredibly affordable, incredibly accessible. And actually, that's the most important part. They're accessible. And you can take advantage of our no-interest payment plans, which are only possible on Brandesk. We have a beautiful graphic design company called Twirl Design. And that's twirl, like twirl, design.biz. And Twirl Design, I mean, if it needs to be designed, you can get it from Twirl Design. So if you need business cards, if you need brochures, if you need pamphlets, if you need a web design created, if you need, anything you need.
said twirldesign.biz?
Yes, twirldesign.biz. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you got it. Twirldesign.biz. Just go to Twirl Design, and I think you're going to be really pleased with what you see. Most of our customers go to Twirl Design to purchase web design services, web design projects, and then they go to Brandesk Hosting to have those designs implemented into fully functional websites. So it's a beautiful synergy. We have a fully fledged marketing business called Vlix Marketing. Now that's a little tricky to say, so I'm going to type it out for you so you can see it written. That's vlixmarketing.com. Let's put it in the private chat. And our goal with Vlix Marketing is to meet literally all of your marketing needs, and to do so in a way that keeps money in your pocket. Now, the crazy thing is that almost everything that you do as a business owner, without marketing, you're really asking the question, if a tree fell down in the forest but nobody was there to witness it, did it really even happen? The answer is yes, it did happen, but nobody knows. So which is more important? What's more important, that it happened or that everybody knows? And so what we have to do is transition our way of thinking from, sure, I wrote a book, or sure, I provide this service, but guess what? If nobody knows about it, then what's the point?
Exactly.
People have to know. So Vlix Marketing is all about solving that problem and doing it in an ethical way, that is, all about honesty and making sure you and your business and your services are presented in the best light, but also doing so in a way that remains accessible and keeps the money flowing in your business so that it's not all being spent on marketing. Okay. I mean, I know a lot of marketing companies, their argument to you is that it's worth it. Whatever our outrageous cost is, it's worth it because you're going to make that much back in business. But my counter argument to that is, if a business owner spends their entire budget on marketing, then how are they going to be able to provide operations for any business that actually does come in? I mean, there's like a little gap there between when you spend the money on marketing and when the customers come in and start paying you. And for some businesses, there's a gap where you get paid at the conclusion of providing a service. So how do you finance your operations if you spent everything on marketing? I don't think it's a good idea to spend everything on marketing. I think it's just a bad marketing tactic that is used to convince people to spend on high prices. So our prices are very affordable, but more importantly, they're accessible. And I think you're going to find that if you take advantage of the services that we have to offer in terms of marketing at the prices that we have to offer, that you're going to be very pleased with how it impacts your business and how much money you're saving. So, okay. Do we have time, Steve, for 3 more? I've got 3
Sure,
more.
absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
What's the other services? Because I mean, this is great because you may have, everybody got different things that they do, Pierre. So, video, copyright, you do, twirl design. I mean, right move. I mean, what else? I mean, wow, that's a lot of services that people have options.
Right.
And then if they use one service and they need another, they don't have to go nowhere else. They just go over to Brandex.
Exactly. That's the vision. That's the vision. That's what we're wanting to build. So Walters Publishing. Now you know Walters Publishing because you're one of our proud authors, and
yes.
I'm so glad that you're working with us and that we're able to collaborate together to publish your next book. But the thing that I think sets Walters Publishing apart from any other publishing business, and actually let me write the web address for you.
I got it. Is that it right there on the screen?
No, close.
Oh, it's a hyphen. I forgot.
Add a dash.
Yeah, my bad. There you go. I forgot about that hyphen.
Perfect. Thank you. So Walters Publishing, one of our mantras is to give a voice, or to provide a way to give a voice to authors that in many ways may be underserved. Maybe there isn't enough of their voice in the marketplace. So we're not necessarily interested, and I say this, and I'm trying, hear me, because I'm really trying. I don't want to sound like we're being exclusionary, but we do have a focus, and our focus is we're looking for stories, we're looking for messages that are generally underserved, as in not enough. There is not enough of this particular voice in the marketplace. I don't know if you remember, but there was a period where vampire stories like Twilight, or some of these other vampire books were that was all the rage. And so what happens is a lot of publishers start producing books about vampires because that's what everybody's has the appetite for. The kids, for a while there was even 50 Shades of Grey. There was the Lord of the Rings,
Harry Potter.
There's these sort of tentpole genres or themes that a lot of publishers just sort of play copycat to because that's the market. And we have rejected that in the sense that, look, if you want to publish that kind of book, you're not hurting for options. So what point is it for us to play in that arena? Let's focus our business on underserved communities, underserved stories, underserved themes that can make a difference if they were produced at the same level. And I think by carving out that niche for ourselves, we've attracted a very consistent, vocal, and passionate audience, which, I could not have predicted, but I can tell you that I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with where we are with Walters Publishing. And if you have a story that's burning in your soul, maybe you've already written it, or maybe you haven't and you need some help. We want to be your solution. We want to be your partners in bringing that special story that only you have, that perspective that only you have, to the market, and doing so in a way that you're proud of, and that your friends and family will be proud of, and that you will be a champion of your own work. I think it's really easy to market something when you feel really proud about it, So like here I am talking about our businesses, but look, I can talk about this stuff all day because I'm so, I love it. I'm proud of what we've been able to build. Sorry.
That's awesome, man, that you have someone in your position that loves what you do. So that makes the customer feel comfortable, because I definitely feel comfortable with you. It's not like, oh, you're out playing golf or jet setting somewhere and letting other people handle the business. I mean, you're all hands in with this.
Yeah, yeah. And, I think we have a great team at Brandesk, and our team is constantly growing. It's constantly expanding. But in order for people to join our team and to serve our customers, they have to go through a pretty rigorous process, training process. In fact, we have an academy. We have an academy called Brandesk Academy, and you can find it, at brandeskacademy.com. But it's our training platform, and anyone who wants to work for us or with us, they have to go through that academy. They have to understand, and really they have to become sort of one with our ethos, what our mantra is, which is about building your difference and helping customers build their difference. So I am knee deep in this. I try to participate as much as I possibly can on as many projects as I can. If not in it, then I'm at least, from an overall perspective, looking at what's happening and making sure that everything is matching our quality levels and standards. But I'm really proud to say that our team members, I can't do it without them. And in order, these are people who are just as passionate, because if they weren't passionate about the work that we're doing, they could not get through our academy. They could not get through our training process. It just would not be for them. So, I'm really, really proud about that. In fact, that leads me into another business called the Table Advisory. And
I remember that one. It's a gentleman sitting down.
Yes.
The advertisement. Let me see. Hold up.
Let me give you the address for that. It's real simple. thetableadvisory.com. And the Table Advisory is something that I'm very passionate about, because when I was beginning my business over 15 years, close to 15 years ago in 2006, I didn't have access to really mentors or advisors or consultants who really cared about what I was doing. There were advisors and consultants who would cost an arm and a leg that I could not afford. I'm just a kid trying to start a business. No one is taking me seriously. I mean, those were hard days. And the Table Advisory is our sort of answer to that problem. I wanted to ensure that we had a business that was totally and completely dedicated to providing mentorship, leadership, guidance, advisory to small business owners who are passionate about what they're doing, regardless of whether they're just starting out or are well experienced. And that, look, the Table Advisory is something I'm incredibly passionate about, and I hope that you check it out. If you're out there and you're listening and you are looking for guidance or some kind of advisory support with a business idea or something that you're building, and you want to work with an incredible group of people who care about what you're doing and the impact that you want to make in the world, then you need to consider the Table Advisory. And the whole idea is that we're coming to the table. We're coming to the table to work together and to uplift each other, and very specifically to uplift you as the entrepreneur or the visionary who has an idea that you're trying to get to market. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. I was trying to bring up the advertisement for that, but I'm getting ready to put the website on here now.
Thank you.
There we go, right there.
Yeah, the Table Advisory. And the reason I even made that segue at first was because I was talking about our team, and the people who serve on the Table Advisory, the advisors themselves. These are people that I look up to. These are people that themselves are CEOs, presidents of major businesses and corporations. And so it's to me, it's insanity that they have offered their time and expertise to be a part of the table advisory so that any clients who are coming through the table advisory can have access to that high level but empathetic approach to solving problems and offering guidance. And, you know, unlike other consulting firms, our services on the table advisory can be accessible by way of a payment plan. If there's a particular advisor that you want to sit down with, but maybe you can't, you know, maybe their fee is outside of your, yeah, there it is. Maybe their fee is outside of your budget or whatever the case may be. We are offering ways to make that possible for you. You know, maybe you can put down a small percentage and pay the rest in small amounts.
Well, you know what, Pierre? Mm-hmm. Not only that, but if they see what they see right here, if you use this coupon with friends of Steve Belcher, if you use Urban Kidney, you can save 10% on all the products, services that he talked about tonight. But you got to put in the code Urban Kidney.
That's, you know what? I'm so glad that you put that up, Steve. That's exactly right. That code will work for any of our services. Any of our services available at mybrandesk.com or on any of the businesses that we've talked about today, with the exception of Brandesk hosting. That code will work for website creation services, design services, content services, but it will not work on monthly low-cost IT services such as that $9.58 per month for the website builder. Those are sort of foundational subscriptions where that particular code will not be applicable for. But all of our other services, you can use Urban Kidney at checkout. So if you're looking to publish your book, or if you're looking to sit down at the table advisory, or perhaps you want to get your podcast started and produced, or maybe a photo shoot for your business or for your family, Urban Kidney at checkout will save you 10%. And it's an incredible deal on top of the payment plans that we already offer. And the last service, the one I didn't get to really speak about, and it's one that we're fairly new to, is called Kai Music Group. And
okay, Kai Music Group.
Yeah, Kai Music Group. And so the web address for that one is kaimusicgroup.com. And my goodness, this is our music label. This is our music label. You know, it's pretty easy to look at the music industry and the entertainment industry.
Wait a minute, hold up. Did you just say this is your music label?
Yes. Yeah. I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know you were into music.
I'll be honest with you, Steve. I didn't know I was into it either. I never thought that we would ever have a music label. But you know, I'm a problem solver. That's my passion. I love to find ways to make existing problems go away and make things better where there really aren't. And I think that it's impossible to look at the current state of the music industry and the entertainment industry and not see some significant problems.
Right.
One of the biggest issues right now with artists, with musicians, is that nobody's buying albums. You know, most people listen to their music on streaming services, and that totally, completely changes the game. So, you know, if you used to, you know, if you're a musician and you used to pursue a music label deal so that you could get that advance that you do owe back, and so that you could then produce your music and that the label would then sell.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's the code. Those days are over because of streaming. And really, in order to be successful at this point in music, you have to really change your approach and change how you're going about producing your music. And what we want to do with Kai Music Group is we want to provide a label experience where we are fronting the budget for the creation of your music in the studio, the marketing of your music, the distribution of your music. We want to support you by financing all of that. You meet us at about 30%. You put down about 30%, and we take care of the rest. You agree to a comfortable payment plan that fits your budget, and you don't owe us royalties. You don't owe us. Your music is yours. So when we distribute that music and it gets out to market and it's selling, that music is yours. You still retain ownership. And that was the most important thing. We found that musicians, they just were between a rock and a hard place where labels were asking them to give up ownership of their music in exchange for these deals, which in most cases just ended up with their music being shelved or put into a vault and never seen or heard by anybody. So Kai Music Group solves that problem. And to date, I'm very proud to say that we have served well over, I think well over 50 different artists.
50 different artists.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I might be underselling it. It may be more than that. But you know, the way that we're doing is I brought in an incredible staff of managers, of advisors, of marketing experts. We're partnered with music studios across the country. So music studios in LA, New York, Cleveland, and here in DC. And wow. Yeah. And we've got deals in place so that when you are a Kai Music Group artist or musician, you're going to get VIP priority treatment at all of these different locations, at all of these studios. You're going to get your music video, your album, everything, your press kit, everything done. Okay, so that you are off to market with your music. And I think for our artists, for people who really buy into that concept, this has been a real game changer.
Where the Kidney Boys at? They need to be watching this. No, it's a group, 2 guys named the Kidney Boys, and they kind of sing and rap, and both of them had transplants, and they good friends, and they live up in Philly, and Pennsylvania, and they got a group called the Kidney Boys. You spell boys B-O-Y-Z, and so look them up. But they should be watching. I don't know if they got a contract or anything, but just for anyone watching this, kidney warrior that maybe has a hobby singing or want to put some music out, some poetry out, or anything, here is the place that you can come. Everything is all under one roof. If you can't make up your mind, if you have to sit back and make a decision in which direction you want to go, all you have to do is go to Brandesk and you can do it.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, we put a lot of websites out there tonight for all of our different businesses, but maybe you're not sure which business on Brandesk is for you, and maybe you just want to talk and you just want to explore the whole platform and see what's right for you. I would say go to mybranddesk.com. mybranddesk.com, right on the screen. Go there and you'll get a comprehensive understanding of our entire platform and also each of our businesses. And I think it's a great place to start. And if you want to sit down and have a talk, maybe have a conversation about what you're interested in doing, you can call us, 877-977-2023, or you can go to the website and schedule a free appointment to talk. Schedule a time at a time that works best for you. And a member of our team or me will hop on the phone and talk to you at that time and really guide you with high integrity to the right solution for you. And hey, you know what? If we're not a good fit, if maybe there's something that you want that maybe we're not currently able to provide, then we'll let you know, and we'll even try to find the right solution for you, even if it's with a different company. But honestly, our vision is to be that one-stop shop. And so we definitely want to be able to meet all of your needs and to help you to build whatever the vision is that is on your heart. We want to be there to help you build that.
Absolutely. And you're not going to find really any other body come on and say, if we can't help you, we refer you to somewhere else. Because nowadays, everybody's trying to get that business, trying to get that dollar, and they're trying to keep everything for themselves, like a selfish act. But you don't normally hear people say, okay, if we can't help you, I'm going to send you to my competitor. I'm going to send you here so you can have a good experience. And they'll know once they go somewhere else that they're not going to get no experience. Well, let me talk for myself, because I never got an experience like I have got at Brandex. I'm talking about with Google, and I'm trying to think of the other websites, GoDaddy, and there was one more I tried. I just wasn't happy when something went wrong or the website crashed or I couldn't get access to my web page or my email. You had to either send a email from another email address or call an 800 number to get a recording out in California. So, man, I'm so happy for Brandex.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you, Steve. That means a whole heck of a lot to me, because we can sit here and I can talk about how great these different businesses are. But I was there when they didn't exist. I was there when we had to build these businesses from nothing. And, here on the other side of that, being able to hear from a truly satisfied and passionate user, customer like yourself, someone who has been with us since Blue Artist started producing websites, and now with Brandesk hosting, and now with Walters Publishing, and probably some of the marketing. I mean, it warms my heart, because it shows me that every single sacrifice and investment every risk that we took, years ago, it pays off. It pays off. And what's important is that there's that sense of integrity that says, it's about being customer-centric and providing the best possible human experience. Not just, and I think not just to people, but I'll be honest with you, to people of color. That's kind of, I don't know that I don't know that it goes without saying, because it does kind of need to be said. There's a lot of businesses that just look to take advantage,
right,
or just simply are not interested in spending the time to really, serve us. And I'm really proud that our business is unique. Our business does not, we that's not the game we play. We want to serve especially underserved communities and people of color like myself. I want to be the business that I would use. Okay. So thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, we're about an hour 40 in, so I'm going to let you go. I know you're busy, but I do want to say I plan on using in the future, when the time is right, MediaRole .live for the completion of my documentary, 30-minute documentary, Urban Crisis. Yes. So I can't wait to move to that service when the time is right, to get the people at MediaRole Live to edit and do what they need to do to bring that documentary to the screen.
Excellent.
Let me ask you, when you do documentary and stuff like that, does Brandex help? Like if the director wanted to do a showing or something like that, does Brandex or does MediaRoll.live set that up, or is there something in place if they wanted to do a showing or what you call like an opening somewhere?
Like a premiere?
Yeah, premiere.
Yeah, a premiere, a screening.
That's what I wanted to say.
So Steve, MediaRoll as a business is really designed for the production side. It's designed to help you create the film or the podcast. It's for the creation of it. In terms of the distribution side, or in terms of getting it seen at a premiere, something like that, we have a different business, which I'm surprised we didn't talk about today. But thank you for saying that. Thank you for asking this question. That business is called TaskFlow. TaskFlow. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but that's basically taskflow.biz. And TaskFlow is all about your executive assistance needs. So this is the kind of service that you would use to plan an event or to create a premiere event or screening event at a movie theater. If you don't have time to make all the phone calls, send all the emails, to do all the coordinating between all the different vendors that need to kind of come together to make an event like that happen, we can handle that for you through TaskFlow. TaskFlow is an incredible but very flexible business for helping to meet your administrative needs. And what you're describing, it is marketing, it is distribution, but it's also administrative. The act of putting together a film premiere or putting together a screening of some kind. And so, yes, we can help you with that, but it would be through our TaskFlow services, not through our MediaRoll services.
Oh, okay. I was seeing if I could find that picture, but I do have the picture of the MediaRoll. So, guys, if you're interested in any of the services, you will see on my page some of these pictures. And if you're interested, all you got to do is use the checkout code Urban Kidney and get 10% off. So, wow, man, this has been an informative show, Pierre. I appreciate you taking this period of time to come on to explain the services of Brandex, explain a short brief of your career span, and also just letting people know what they need to do if they want to break into this field, like writing a book or doing anything else, a podcast or building a website, what they need to do to get that accomplished. So again, they can reach you at 877-977-2023, or you can go to mybrandex.com for more in-depth information on the services that Brandex have. Pierre Walter, senior producer, Brandex, thank you so much for coming on, and I just can't wait till my book, the hard copy, comes to light, and we're able to get that out to the masses of people that can sure use that book.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Steve, for giving me the opportunity to be on your show and to dialogue with you and your audience. And I, too, cannot wait for your book to be published so that everyone can have a copy in their hands and they can see exactly what you've been working on so hard for the last couple of months, or years, maybe. I'm not even sure.
Oh, no, it was actually a month, 4 weeks.
Oh, you sat down and just got the whole thing out?
Yeah, I was writing it, and I wrote it like day in and all night, all day. Because, Pierre, the thought I had, if I could go to school for my master's and pay, right? And pay to do the assignments and write 15, 20 pages. Pay out of my pocket for this degree. Why not create some content that's going to make an impact to help thousands of people and hopefully maybe get paid for it? Or, I mean, that's not the sole reason, but I mean, at least I don't have to pay for writing it.
Yeah. If you gotta pay a university just so you can sit down and write what you're passionate about, why not write what you're passionate about and put it out there so people can buy it and can experience it? No, I understand. And it's funny that you put it that way, but that's so true. Sometimes people, they forget that they have it within them to do that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I just, and another thing that motivated me, I'm sitting by watching people that I know online writing book. My man Tay Veazey, he wrote his book, and you got other people writing books, and Chosen to Triumph from Phyllis Pen Kettles. And these are all kidney warriors who had transplants that are sharing their story with the world. And I feel like I have a story too of information to share, to help people. So it's time to put it out there, and I just couldn't wait any longer.
Absolutely. Again, thank you for choosing us, for choosing Walters Publishing at Brandesk to be your partner in creating this and bringing it to light. And thank you for this opportunity to share a little about what we do. And hopefully others who are out there listening who have a story that's on their heart or a vision that they want to bring to life, and they're looking for that empathetic, compassionate, high integrity partner to meet them more than halfway at bringing their vision to life. That's us. I encourage you to contact us and let's talk. Let's make it happen, because
absolutely,
that's what we're here to do.
And in fact, what I want to do, I want to bring you back. When you tell me my book is ready, we're going to reveal it, me and you, on the show. I'm not going to show it to no one. You're going to present it. We're going to have a show. We're going to be the first one to show it out.
I'm here for it. Thank you.
So people can see your work,
right.
The integrity and everything that it took to bring that book to the table. So I can't wait. We'll set that up when you tell me the book is ready. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see no copy of it. I just want, when you call me and say it's ready, then we'll set up a date, hopefully soon as possible, so I can see it, to do like a special broadcast.
I think that. That's exactly what we need to be doing. So I think, you have the platform, you have the audience. What a perfect way to reveal this to the world right here on the Urban Kidney Show on Urban Kidney Media. This is it. This makes complete sense. Let's do it.
All right, man. All right, Pierre. Thanks a lot. I'll be talking to you in the coming days.
All right.
And definitely see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Guys, let me tell you, there's nowhere else that you're going to find a kidney disease organization like Urban Health Outreach Media bring on CEO or senior producer. He wants to be called a senior producer, and I can understand that. He's so humble to not even want to be called the CEO, something he created, the brainchild of Brandex, on this show, giving you information in how to write a book, task flow, website building, photography, production, all that wrapped up in one. So we wanted to bring this information to you because who knows, it may be someone out there who wants to get into this business and they don't know how to do it. Well, tonight we showed you how. We hope you take full advantage of this show. Again, I want to put this information up. You got mybrandesk.com, where you can get all the information that we talked about on that website and even more. You got Brandesk hosting for your website needs and your hosting needs. If you want a domain name, they do that. They do everything that centers around hosting at a low price. You also heard about the low email. I think it's 3 emails or 5. I may be wrong. Could be 5 for $7 a month or $7.98. No more than $8 for 5 emails. That's crazy. So if you got a business and you got people, you need multiple emails, Brandex hosting is where you need to go. And then if you need to reach out, 877-977-2023. And again, we had Pierre Walters, senior producer for Brandex hosting. Man, I got a lot of comments. Let me see. Thank you guys for watching. Lisa Baxter, Denise Simmons, Miss Gloria. I want to do, the book premiere is going to be, I might as well do it online. Just to show you guys, 2 months ago, I wasn't even talking about any books or writing anything. It's just through the grace of God that the Spirit told me to do this. And everything just lined up. I kid you not. I kid you not. So with that being said, be ready, 8:30 for Sisters Against Kidney Disease with host Audrey Bella Langston. She's going to have a practicing licensed therapist on her show. That's tonight in about a half an hour right here on Urban Health Outreach Media. We'd like to thank you guys for watching. And again, Lisa, you need to reach out to Mr. Walters. Let him take a look at your book and see what they can do to put it out there. At least you got like 3 or 4 books that you need to out there. So let's get into marketing and have Mr. Walters look at it, do some type of consultant, and see what he can do with your work. You got 5 books, Lisa, so we got to get that out there. This is what I was telling you about. So it's finally come to pass. So now all you got to do is act on it, Lisa. And anybody else who's written a book and is just sitting there, or you wrote the book and it's not moving like you think it should be moving, reach out to Brandex. Let them move that product to Amazon, to Barnes & Noble, to wherever they need to do. Let them get that press release out there to the multiple media hubs. Again, you had a gentleman on here that was nominated for 2 Emmys. Where else is somebody going to come on here, to give you that information that was nominated? Even though he didn't win, that's okay, but he was nominated. Not too many people get nominated from a national organization like that, a recording industry. So we hope we gave you some valuable information that added value to your life. Again, you're not going to get this from, I don't mean to be picking on them, but you're not going to get this from American Kidney Foundation, kidney.org, or any other kidney organization out there. We want to make sure that you have other outlets to make money. We know that one may have a disability or get disability payments, or maybe on a fixed income. But this is an investment in yourself. Take that money, or some of it, or put a little bit away, because you did hear Mr. Walter say they got a convenient payment plan, interest-free. That's how I was able to use it. And I don't even have a job. I'm unemployed, injured nurse, unemployed nurse, 33 years in the business, not working now, no income, but through the grace of God, I'm able to use what little bit I had to invest in myself and to trust Walters Publishing with my money and my manuscript. Hey, I trust these guys 110%. And I encourage you, if you're a visionary like we are, if you're a visionary, you need to reach out to Walters Publishing. And for those who don't know what visionary means, let me show you my vision right quick for Urban Health Outreach Media. This is our vision. Let me tell you something. Every time I play that video, I get goosebumps because I know the God that I serve is going to have us traveling across this globe in our own private jet with Urban Health Outreach Media on there. So keep dreaming, keep visualizing, because it can come true. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Don't forget to tune in at 8:30 for Sisters Against Kidney Disease with Audra Bella Langston. God bless you, and we're out. This is another one of my visions that came to pass. Peace.